Hey guys, and this is Iron Squire here with some Plants vs. Zombies. You guys seem to like it, so I'll do it. And what I'm going to try to do this time is give it a lot more thought with strategy. Because the last one, and I know it was a while back, with Survival Night, I didn't really go into strategy because I was very tired and things like that. But this one, I'm going to try to explain every step that I go through. So we're going to want sunflowers and twin sunflowers, obviously for economy. Sorry, I just want to make sure I wasn't muted. Potato mine, definitely for early defense. Squash, just in case. It's always interesting. Do we go for repeaters? Oh, melons. We're gonna go repeaters. Definitely gonna want that. We'll go with that. You know what? Do it like that. And there you are, torchwood. I recently bought the last slot, so you should have enough. Okay, now my reason for choosing repeaters over melons. Hold on. Sorry guys, I am getting over a cold a little bit, so you're gonna have to bear with me a little. But here's why I chose repeaters over melons. Repeaters, I find, do a lot more damage, especially late game, because you can put Gatling peas on each one. Whereas for melons, well, you do have the ability to slow your enemies. Those melons do a lot less damage, so it's kind of punishing, you know? Alright, get another lily pad. Whereas Gatling peas, though it takes up an extra slot to have the torchwood, very much worth it in the end. Oops, didn't put it there, but that's fine. We don't need to do this. Use the squash when we can use a potato mine for 25. Always good to save sun early on. Whereas later, if you want to do something, just go ahead and do it. Alright. Usually what I'll try to do with Plants vs. Zombies is make one row and then a second row. And you can do, make like two here and then two. But what I find is that, let's say that a zombie comes in a place where you have two, and you don't have any defenses available, well, you might just lose two sunflowers, you know? Alright. Hope I'm not rushing into this. It has been a while since I recorded last. But yeah, I just kind of want to do a bit of Plants vs. Zombies. So yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been uploading a lot, and I feel like every time I record I say that, which is probably true. But, yeah, it happens. Alright, let's start putting down repeaters. It can be good to wait until the next thing of zombies comes, before you put down a repeater. Because that way, you can see actually where it would be useful. Where it would actually be useful. Alright. Again, same thing with the same principle with the twin sunflowers as with the normal sunflowers. Just put them a row down and a row down, unless you have sufficient defenses. Alright. Let's see. I'm actually pretty surprised I'm recording tonight. I'm planning on uploading Vegas tonight, but yeah, I don't know why I'm recording. Just probably because I got that comment. Just thank you very much for it, by the way. I appreciate it. Alright. So the beginning, you're just kind of setting up. I mean, there's really not too much strategy to it. The reason why I picked squash and potato mine is because, just in case the potato mine's on cooldown and I miss a zombie or something. Alright. Let's get another one. One good thing about water is that usually for a long time it won't come in the water. For instance, this is our first guy in the water. But, so you can usually neglect your defenses on the water for a while if you want to focus on your defenses on the ground. Usually that's the case. I mean, obviously each map is slightly different, so... Alright. So yeah, really a good thing to do in this main focus of this game is just make sure you're picking up all the sun and all the money. Money isn't as important, but make sure you're picking up all the sun, all these, you know, just make sure everything's getting picked up so you have enough. Also, another thing is don't panic. And what I mean by that is, if you let's say there's a lot of sun. Like I'm gonna let it build up for a moment. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of sun. You want to pick it all up, right? Well, don't panic about it. Even if you have other things to do, like you need to put down a plant, you know? It's okay. Sun lasts for a lot longer of a time than you think. So, just defend yourself. Heck, you can even pause just by hitting the spacebar. Think about what you want to do, kind of plan it out, and then jump to it. I mean, it's really not that bad. Alright, now... Oops, we don't have all 2 rows. Once you have 2 rows of repeaters, you're going to want to start setting up your Gatling piece. Gatling peas are very powerful, and if you don't know what they do, they are, they shoot 4 peas instead of 2. Alright. Now what I'm also going to start doing is putting pumpkins on our last row of defenders. You may ask why, and it's a pretty good question. But the reason is because later on there's going to be gargantuars, sorry, who are going to throw their little mini guys, and their mini guys land about right there. So and usually you don't think about it because you're like, oh, I want to defend the front, and then suddenly you have a bunch of little guys in your back door, you know? So it can be a real problem. Let's start putting some guys on. Usually what I'll do in putting down my next row, you might ask, well, why didn't you put it there? Because this already has another repeater on it, you know? So it's 6 peas that are shooting out right there. So, 6 peas, you know what I mean? That's the same reason why I put the Gatling there. So now, we can go lily pad, I see that money. See what I mean? Sun and money tend to stick around a lot longer. I think that the reason why money tends not to stick around so long is because we don't see it as much, because it's all the way over here. But I mean, it really stays a long time. Oh, that blows. Okay, so I'll just wait for it to get eaten, and then squash them. Sometimes it's better to let your defenses get taken down by 1, or even a little bit, instead of panicking and trying to get a lot more stuff out and wasting money. Whereas like that, we lost a repeater, okay, but we easily replaced it, and just got back in the swing of things. Alright, so this is going well so far. Hold on, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Alright, I'm back. Now what are we going to do for our second setup? First setup's kind of general, just what do you want to do? Do you want to use like melons or repeaters? Or cornopults, if that's your case. Things like that. So lily pad, twin sunflower, because we're not done with them yet. Excuse me. I usually like cherry bomb. You know what, let's go cherry bomb. I was gonna say squash, but cherry bomb covers a radius, so it's usually a lot better. Repeater, Gatling pea, tallnut, pumpkin. Let's do this. I usually like things in a specific order, like that. All right. You may notice that I got torchwood, but I'm not really using it, and I tend to do that. It's just because torchwood tends to cost a lot, which is funny I say that because repeaters cost a lot. They cost even more. But I don't know. I just tend not to use them until later on, maybe the 3rd, like after the 4th flag, maybe. All right. You know what? Because that guy has a bucket. Let's start doing that. Your goal is to just slowly make sure that each row has a Gatling pea. Hold on. Excuse me. Alright. Put down the pumpkin. And it's good to get the pumpkins early. I mean, it may not come into effect until much later on, but you're going to be thankful that you have that. Another thing you're going to want to do is put them on the back row, and you may have seen why at the very beginning of the video. And if you did, you know why. It's very important that you get them in the back row. Ah, so much sun. Always nice. It's kind of a mixed blessing, though, because... Whoa. Am I still recording? That was weird. I had a zone alarm thing pop up, and I don't know what happens if you're recording and it jumps to another window. I think that if there was a jump in the recording, I'm sorry. I got a zone alarm pop up for some weird reason. If you saw my screen, then you know exactly what happened. Either way, I'll apologies. Okay, get that. Now, I have forgotten the lily pads before, and it's kind of annoying, but it's really not that big of a deal. You can still survive with it. I mean, cherry bombs will still affect the radius around it, so it's not that bad. Just make sure that the round after you focus on that a little more. Alright, you need to remember to put pumpkins down. Though again, a good thing about doing it early is there's not a lot of pressure to do it. I mean, they respawn pretty quick. So it's really not, you're not in a rush to do it. Like, you don't have to hit every time. So that's always good. Ah, that's a problem. Yeah, we were okay. Usually if you just don't freak out and just let your plants do their own thing, you'll be fine. I mean, as long as you set them down right. You know what? We're gonna set that there, just in